protectionism. Raising prices through direct or indirect taxes has also been condemned in the Muslim literature. Rulers are not allowed to extract revenues from products, commodities, services that are sold in the market. The supplier, the producer, has a right to have profits. And for that purpose, the demand and supply would continue to interplay and to be functioning to come up with their own balances. But if the rulers, they enter the market and through the powers that they hold, by asking for a certain part of the price to go to them, this is something that has been condemned and not allowed. What happens is that when such indirect taxes are imposed, it makes the life of the common man difficult and invites evil practices like smuggling, etc., to enter the market, which obviously means that those who are profiteering, who are exploiting the common man, they benefit, and the rest of the population suffers, because the market should be allowed to play its role in the natural sequence of events. But if the state, the ruler, interferes and gets revenues through imposing taxes, then it's something which is not acceptable and allowed. However, we know that in the modern economies, states do get indirect taxes by adding to the price of commodities, of services. In our country too, a major part of the revenues generated by the state is through indirect taxes. Whether we pay our electricity bills or whether we pay for traveling, etc., we know that the price that we pay, a good part of it goes to the state. So the question is, how can the state then generate revenues for enabling it to function? Well, the Quran has mentioned the fact that the state should get zakat from the citizens, and that amount, which if properly calculated and properly given and properly utilized by the rulers, should be good enough for the revenues, for the state machinery to function through the revenues that are generated. Ordinarily, people do not calculate the zakat that is leviable on their wealth as well as their earnings. There are three categories of zakat. It's zakat on savings, that is on wealth. It's zakat on production, which is commonly called ushr, and there is zakat on livestock. If the entire amount of zakat is properly calculated and is properly delivered, and obviously the rulers use it properly, not on items, not on expenditure which is unjustifiable, then there is no need to further tax population either directly or indirectly. Right now, unfortunately, there is taxation, direct and indirect, that is imposed on the population, and Muslim population is also expected, called upon to pay zakat as well, which is what is causing people to go through hardships, to be telling lies, honestly, because they cannot pay both levies in a manner that they're honestly disclosing their income. If at all the zakat amount is not good enough for the state to be able to run its machinery, then the rulers must consult the population on which they are imposing taxes, which should be done in a manner that everybody should participate. It should not be allowed to be done in a manner that an individual just announces a budget and imposes further taxes without allowing the population to give its own response. So in other words, the prices, the way they are they are decided in the market, should not be interfered with, and no further taxes, whether direct or indirect, should be imposed on the Muslim population. If it is done, it's something which constitutes a crime in the eyes of God.